Hi, welcome back to my channel. You see I've got a lot of lights on because it's quite early in the morning. It's about 6 a.m. so we're not using the benefit of sunlight. We are using all of these lamps to give you as much of a decent picture as I can. I wanted to talk to you about where I've been and why I haven't done any book related things on this channel for at least 2 months. Sorry, my nose is itching a little bit. I have made a couple of plan with me videos. I've been on a couple of live streams with a couple of friends, and I think I did one whip and chat. But where is Robin Loves Reading? Well, Robin Loves Reading is still reading every single day, an average of 2 books a day. Sometimes I might get 2.5 books a day. I might read 3 books in one day, or I might read 1 book a day. So the average is close to 2 books a day. So with that being said, why haven't I been keeping up to date with you on this channel? And the main reason that I haven't been able to keep up to date with you is simply my frame of mind and the uncomfortable vibe I get when I make these videos. Now, there's something else too. Like if I were to go to my blog, I'm just gonna randomly bring up my blog. My laptop is to my left, so that's why you see my head turned over. If I bring up my blog right now, and this is my first time going to my blog today, I have, let's wait for the page views to come up. It will take just a couple of seconds for the page to fully load, because my blog is quite heavy. It's got hundreds and hundreds. Okay, so my current page view for the last 30 days is 13,597. So let's find out how many pages per day. 13,597 divided by 30.
It's about 453.2333.
So 453 views a day over the last 30 days on my blog. But if I do a video like this, I might get 12 views, 13 views, 8. And that gets kind of weighs on your nerves a little bit. It's like, why bother? And so I just don't have the impetus. But I'm going to try again. I'm just going to keep trying. That's all I can do. So where do we start with this video? Now that I spent 3 minutes telling you why I've been failing in this endeavor, well, I thought I would just summarize my July and my August reads, and maybe at the end of September I can go a little bit more in depth with book covers and things that I usually do when I do wrap-ups. So let's talk about July. Now in July, I read 53 books. Of those 53 books, 10 were audiobooks. Most of the rest were Kindle ARCs, advanced review copies, or advanced reader copy, whatever. And I think I had 3 or 4 library books in there. And those library books were most likely the audiobooks that I read. Then it was a good diamond painting month for me because I did finish 4 diamond paintings in July. And how do I do 4 diamond paintings and read 53 books? Well, because either I'm doing an audiobook or I'm doing Kindle text-to-speech. And for those of you who aren't familiar with it, this is my Kindle Fire. One of them, I have a few. If I were to bring up a book that I'm reading, I'll just pick a book that I'm finished. Let's see if it will load the last book that I read. I finished a book, so it might be trying to figure out what do I want. So we'll just choose a book that I read last week. Oh, see, okay. There we go. So I'm starting this book, which doesn't have a cover on my Kindle, My Sweet Girl by Amanda Jayatisa, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. So if I wanted to diamond paint while reading this book, I tap the screen, and you see that play button right there? It has text-to-speech.
San Francisco, C8, present day.
Yes, that's 4-speed. That's the speed that I listen to. So I listen to my books, and don't worry, it doesn't matter that I know the speed is excessive for some, but I remember everything. I don't know what it is about my memory, but I remember it a week or two, sometimes weeks later, I will go and write the reviews. So audiobooks and Kindle text-to-speech, love them. And that's why I was able to finish 4 diamond paintings in July. So since I read 17,359 pages, if I haven't already said that, for the 53 books, the average book length was 328 pages, meaning that some of the books were smaller, like 224 pages for those Harlequin books that I reviewed, or they could have been 400 or 500 pages like some other books were. So the average came up to 328. That gave me a daily average of 561 pages per day. Now, did I? Okay, no, I thought I did something in July. So I did talk about my favorite reads for July in my own personal notes, and I'll bring those up here in this video. They were the first 2 books were The New York Secret and The Lost Girl of Berlin by Ella Carey. Those were among my favorite reads for July. And then I am slowly but surely getting through Christina Lauren's backlist. So for July, I read Roomies. It was really, really good. And then I read 2 Karen Rose books last year in the trilogy, which is the Sacramental trilogy. That ended with the book Say Goodbye. And I guess I'll throw book covers up for these highlighted books. And then I read Wish You Were Here by Jodie Picotte, which comes out November 30th. I have not yet written the review. It doesn't matter if I don't write the review until November 29th, even though I read the book back in July. I don't know. I have an eidetic memory. So that was Wish You Were Here by Jodie Picotte. Then I read 2 Sajni Patel books, and that was The Trouble with Hating You and First Love Take 2. First Love Take 2 will be out. I have to take a sip of my water. First Love Take 2 will be out September 21st, and today is the 13th. I believe at least First Love Take 2 is already pre-scheduled on my blog, but I don't think I reviewed The Trouble with Hating You, but those were among favorites for July. I read the first book in the Aurora Cycle series by Jay Kristoff and I can't remember the co-author. I didn't put it in my notes. Well, I read the first book like a year or so ago, but I had Aurora Burning as a review title, and well, I don't think Aurora's Burning was a review title, but Aurora's End, which comes out September 21st. So I read that and finished off that trilogy. So I've got that book reviewed to write, even though I read it back in July. And I'm kicking myself. And I said I have an eidetic memory. Names? Nope. Never, ever, ever been great with names. Facts? Yes. Numbers? Yes. Details? Yes. Names? Nope. Okay, now Iris Johansson started a new series, which is a male protagonist this time, and that book was called High Stakes. I think I've already written a review for that. It's probably already up on my blog because I have my notes here that it came out September 7th, so no doubt that's already on my blog. And then Lisa Jewell, her latest book is The Night She Disappeared. I'm not sure of the release date, but if it's already released, then it's already on my blog. And then there was one book I did not enjoy in July. It was Cold Case True Crime by Denise N. Wheatley. That was my July. I cannot sit here and show you 53 books for July and what I'm about to tell you for August, because we're making this into one video, not two, one video. So what did we do in August? In August, I read 60 books. So again, to reiterate, for July, I read 53 books to the tune of 17,359 pages. In August, I read 60 books with a few more pages, which was 18,048. But I want to tell you something. I started Les Miserables, and I read about 650, 700 pages in July, but in August rather, but I did not include it in those stats. It will be included in September stats. I read another 200 pages this month, so I've got about 400 pages left in Les Miserables. So in August, I thought it was going to be a low reading month because I went away with my family and part of my family to the White Mountains in New Hampshire at the first weekend in August. But somehow or another, I still was able to get those 60 books read. Now, of those 60 books, 43 were digital advanced reader copies and 23 were audiobooks. Why did I have so many audiobooks? Because I am a series fanatic. If I get, like for example, I had Aurora's End by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. There we go. Because I had Aurora's End, I had to go to my library and get Aurora's Burning. Because I had, I'll give you another example. I'll just give you one more example. Because I wanted to read the Night trilogy, I had to get all three of those as audiobooks. Enola Holmes and the Black Barouche, that was a print arc that I got, but it was the 7th book in the series, so I wanted to read all the previous books. So that's why there was 23 audiobooks, because whatever book I get, I try to go and get all of the previous books in the series and read them in that month prior to reading whatever I'm going to read for review. So again, 43 digital books, 23 audiobooks. Off my bookshelf, there were 2 books. It was Black Beauty and the Red, which Anna Sewell wrote Black Beauty, and The Red Badge of Courage was by Stephen Crane. So those were 2 books off my shelf. And then the print arc that I mentioned was Enola Holmes and the Black Barouche. So that's the composition of the books that I read in August. Now, with those stats for the 18,048 pages, as of the end of August, I read 131,136 pages as of the end of August. But we're just going to scroll onto my spreadsheet. For September so far, I've read 5,927 pages. So my total yearly page count is 137,063. So I've read a third of what I plan on reading for September. I do have a lot more books lined up for September, but it's highly unlikely that I will read everything that I have lined up because there were some things going on this month. Now, back to August. The average pages per book for August was 301 because I think I had 20 Harlequin books for blog tours, and those are only about 224 to 268 pages, so it brings my average down to 301. That gave me about a 600-page average for the day and 2 books a day. Now, I did a lot of catching up on my blog, so I wrote 74 reviews for NetGalley, and my blog post itself as of the end of August was 56, and I had 16 scheduled, but that is different because now we're in the month of September. Today is September 13th. So what I currently have scheduled is only 9. So of that 16 at the end of August, 7 of those have gone live. Now, my favorite books for the month, as I mentioned, I read the Night trilogy by Eli Wiesel. I might have said Ellie earlier. If I did, I apologize. And Night is the first book. Then there was Dawn, I believe, and then there was Day. Those are non-fictional books based on his experience during World War II and the Holocaust. And then I read other historical fiction books. Yes, in my notes I say these were among the 11 historical fiction books, but it was 3 non-fictional books and 8 fictional historical fiction books. And as I mentioned a few minutes ago, I got the print arc of Enola Holmes and the Black Barouche, so therefore I binge read the first 6 books in the series in a 24-hour period. So I think I knocked out like 2,500 pages in a day. And then I had an arc for Last Seen Alive by Joanna Schaffhausen. So I didn't read Last Seen Alive. After I read the description, I discovered it was a series. So I read the Vanishing season in July, and then at the beginning of September, I read all the other books in that Joanna Schaffhausen series. And then I had Never Saw Me Coming was by Vera Kurian, and it was a thrilling book about obsession. I mean, it was a really, really good book. And then there was 4 more books that I noted in my notes when I was compiling my blog posts for the end of August, and they were Hairpin Bridge by Taylor Adams, The Guilt Trip by Sandy Jones, which was actually a print arc. I said it was a digit arc, but that was a print arc. And then The Sister-in-Law by Pamela Crane, and the standout book for July was I Let Him In by Jill Childs. Keep that in mind if you want a good book, a good psychological thriller. Now, I did have a fun read for July, and that was, Isn't It Romantic by Alyssa K. Adams. And the best way to summarize this book is the Russian got his story. So if you've been reading the romantic series, then you would have seen this really annoying character who grew over time with his friends. So by the time he gets his book in Isn't It Romantic, he came into his own. I loved that book. I did enjoy a couple other lighthearted romantic comedies, and they were Husband Auditions by Angela Ruth Strong and The Dating Playbook by Farah Roshan. And then I thought Big Summer was going to be a rom-com, but it wasn't. It touched on some serious subjects, but it's worthy of mention here. And that's about it. Now, what I did was on my iPad, I showed pages in my planner, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit this by putting that part of what I talked about my planner for September at the end of this video. So this video is running 17 minutes, almost 18 minutes, and I made like a 3-minute video, so I'm going to edit them in together so you can kind of see what I'm doing for the month of September. And that's it. That's my July and August wrap up with a little bit of what I have done in September. So, like I mentioned, I was going to show you my planner pages and my reading for September so far, and I will go over some of this at the end of this month because today is September 13th, so we're almost at the halfway point. And what you see here is the first book I read in September was A Matchmaker's Lonely Heart. I got deplorable handwriting and I wrote the pages down. Then I read Bring Her Home by Chris Merritt, The Girl Who Survived, S.A. Dunphy. The Girl Who Survived by Ellie Midwood. And I mentioned in the video already that I started the Joanna Schaffhausen Ellery Hathaway series with the Vanishing season. So then I read No Mercy and All the Best Lies. I was doing a readathon, so I really didn't get much reading done a diamond painting event, not a readathon, a diamond painting event for this weekend. So that's all I got read over the weekend. The diamond painting event went through Monday night, but I kept taking little breaks, and I got this done part of that day, which was Every Week an Hour by Joanna Schaffhausen, and then Monday night I read The New Home by Chris Merritt. I finished off the Ellery Hathaway series with Last Seen Alive, and then I read A Lesson in Murder by Verity Bright, who are a husband and wife writing team. I believe it's the 7th book in the series. It's a really good series. Then I read The Trap Wife. Oh, I can't wait to get this review written. This book was really, really, really good. I mean, really, really good. And then I read another really good book, The Couple Upstairs by Shalini Boland. And I'm telling you, every book she writes is a 5-star book. And then Joanna Schaffhausen started a new series, Gone for Good. So that was really good. I read the second book in a series called Becoming Wild by H.K. Jacob. I know that it's at least a trilogy because the way that it ended, there's definitely a third book. Then I read The Bookbinder's Daughter by Jessica Thorne. And let me tell you, it was not what I expected, but it was a very good read. And I've got to get that review written. I've got a lot of reviews that I have to write this week. Then I read The Girl at My Door, and this was by Rebecca Griffiths. The Girl at My Door, the name kind of throws me off. I'm still trying to figure out what the title indicates. But it was about a real life serial killer in the 1940s, I believe. But it's a fictional book. So she wrote a fictional book based on a real person in history. Then I read Serve and Protect by T. O'Fallon. Now, this is, I think, the 6th or 7th book in the series, but I didn't have time to read the previous books, but it did quite well as a standalone. As a matter of fact, it wasn't until the there were little cameos of people that I know that were in the previous books, but in the end, it summarized so-and-so is happy with so-and-so, and then so-and-so really loves so-and-so. But this book did great as a standalone. Then I read The Sweetest Remedy by Jane Egaro. Then I read On Location by Sarah Smith, but if you look at the book cover, I think it's Sarah Ekavar Smith. She's from Sri Lanka, but now she's on Goodreads and everywhere else as Sarah Smith. And then I read The Heart Principle last night by Helen Huang, and that's where I left off. I haven't done my stats yet for this past week, but I just wanted to show you that my planner is bright and ready for today, Monday, September 13th. And I've got my stickers in it. I just got to start reading. And while we're here, I can show you what I mean when I say I got to start reading. Is I turn it this way, printed up book covers for all the books that I plan on reading for September. And there you have it. So, as a matter of fact, I think, yeah, this is the book I'm reading today, so I happened to grab it. So this will actually go right here because that's the one that I'm reading today. And I also started this book, at least they're popping right up. I also started this book early in the morning, about 3 in the morning. And it's called Amina's Voice. So these will be my 2 reads for today. Amina's Voice is pretty short, so I may choose another book, like One of Us is Lying or something. So that's what I've got coming up. So that's going to conclude. This is a 2-part video that will be melded into one, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.